Yo, what up? It's your boy Brando. Check it out. Look, we're about to do this dope interview with the GOAT, the top techno artist in the A, Sam Wolfe. He's here. Let's go get him. You dig?
A sound that's out of phase.
Pretty sure if you're in Atlanta and if you're in the electronic scene, you know who this guy is. Check it out. We got Sam.
Oh, we made it, baby. We made it. We in the building. What's up, bro? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. About to crush it. Type shit. This is the incubator. How you feeling today, dude?
Dude, feeling amazing. Feeling amazing.
How's you?
Here, baby. We here, baby. Let's go.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Brando. Welcome back to another episode of Artist Premiere. Today's guest is killing it. One of the top, if not the top, techno DJs out of Atlanta. We got Sam Wolfe in the building, man. Thanks for coming out, man.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It's about time we got this going on, man. It's
Man,
overdue.
dude.
It's overdue. We've been chopping it up for a minute.
Timing is perfect, dude. You know, I like how we keep everything organic. You know, we don't force anything, you know, and that's one of the things I appreciate about you.
Of course, all day, man. All day.
So how
It's
you
good to be
feeling,
here.
dude?
Feeling great, man. I was just saying before, just got back from Pittsburgh this past weekend.
Yeah.
Sold out show. You love to hear that. That's a very
Awesome,
nice
dude.
it's a very nice thing to hear.
I didn't know there was a scene in Pittsburgh.
It's
So
wild. It's wild. So
like-
one of the cool things that's kind of been happening as I'm going from city to city is techno is a relatively underground, still has a lot of room to come up in the United States kind of
Right.
genre. So each scene they have, each scene inside their city, they have their own little subset of people coming out, and it's like
Right.
growing. It's getting bigger everywhere that you go. So getting to be a part of that and to like fuel it.
You're already a part of that and feeling it. You're
trying,
touching,
man. I'm
you're
trying.
touching so much of the geography of the world. You know what I mean? This guy's all over. International right here. You know, you talk about national tours, and you guys know, like, if you guys are avid watchers of the show, you guys know that I have experience with national tours, and I take a little pride in that. But this guy is international, like, so we're gonna play a little game later on, and we're gonna be able to bring some of those experiences out. But right now, let's start with, man, dude, where did it start for Sam Wolfe?
Great question. Great question. All right, so I feel like a lot of people will be able to resonate with the story. When you first go to like your first live music experience, it's like a thing you never forget. So
Yeah,
for me,
facts.
the first club I ever went to was a place in Baltimore. It was back in 2009. Saw this dubstep act, saw Excision and Datstick back to back. Went in there having no idea what like electronic music was and all that stuff. Going with my homie, we drank enough in the parking lot to whip up the courage to walk inside because we were nervous.
Right.
We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. And then I feel like after that, then you just have your mind blown. You're like, oh, okay. Like I wasn't really too sure about this genre, but now I'm fucking sold.
Sold.
And then from there, you know, there's kinds of two different people that get into this. There's people that get into it from the party side, and then there's people that get into it purely just from, you know, being all about the music. I kind of went with the party route first, where I went and experienced the party,
Right.
saw it live, got into it, then fell in love with the music. And so for me, my whole shtick, why I kind of perform the way that I do, is I want to put on a really good party, a really good experience.
Yeah.
And the music is an asset to help me kind of like deliver that experience.
Right.
The music is a tool, but I'm kind of thinking at the forefront, I'm thinking party, live show, experience, performance first. The music is just as important, but it's an asset, whereas a lot of other producers, they're kind of like, I'm all about the music,
Right.
and then I'm going to have a performance. I definitely would classify myself as a little bit more performance.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
centrist.
One of the things I love about your performance, man, I saw this video clip, and I wish I was there. You do this thing, and I think it's on like Reservoir or Prison Break, or I'm not sure which one it is, but it's like, and you're like you like whip your head around. I'm like, yo, this dude's performance game is out of here. I believe it separates you from other, not even techno DJs, period. Yeah. Because you put on a show, and like you said, I believe it's the environment, how you came into knowing this genre. Yeah. You were a fan of it first.
Yeah, so funny, you know, a lot of people ask, they're like, you got your dance moves on stage, I do my little thing, my little pop, 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 you know, whatever. It's not an act. What it really is years and years and years of going to shows and going to festivals. I'll never forget, I had this one experience. It was maybe 2013, 2014. There was a thing called Virgin Free Fest in Maryland. And it was put on by Richard Branson, Virgin, you know, whatever. It was free in the beginning. It ended up selling tickets. The point is, I'm at Virgin Free Fest, and I think I was seeing Porter Robinson in the crowd. It started to pour rain, and I might have done some, you know, psychedelic drugs or something like that. And I'm standing there having the time of my life, and I'm just dancing in the rain, and I'm just like, ba-ba-da-ba-ba, like having this amazing time. And there's this guy, he turns to me. I'd never met this guy. He taps me on the shoulder. He says, dude, I've been watching your facial expressions for like the past 15, 20 minutes. You are so funny to watch. Dude. I was like, you know what? I kind of am funny to watch. I like that. That's just me being me. And now, you know, doing that since 2009, it's 2023. So we're talking almost 14 years now. Yeah. It's just doing that in the crowd, and that's just me being myself on stage. So that's kind of where it comes from. Practice makes perfect. It's just going out and dancing.
Absolutely. And like, you're one of those guys you're like a machine with it. Like, you're always performing, you're always booking shows, so you get a lot of practice and experience.
But yeah, it has been wild. I just tallied up yesterday. You're talking about, you know, always being on it. Got to do 27 different cities this past year.
And the thing about the electronic dance music culture is it's very loving and embracing. So for that stranger to give you feedback that you carried for X amount of years. Yeah, it's true. You know what I mean? Like,
it's true. It's one of many stories, because I'm sure everyone's had experiences where you're in a certain environment, on a certain vibe, and then you can always like flashback and remember those kinds of experiences that'll carry with you for a long time.
And when you talk about experience, like everybody has that first experience, mine was Gym Class Heroes, dude. Shout out to Travis McCoy, man. You know, so I fell in love with concerts and festivals with Gym Class Heroes as a teenager, and TomorrowWorld, dude. Have you been there?
So we got to do the last TomorrowWorld or Tomorrowland, the one that was here in Georgia.
We're gonna get to Tomorrowland.
Oh yeah.
But TomorrowWorld.
Never. The craziest place I've been was Untold Festival in Romania.
Okay.
I went there. That was wild. That's kind of like their version of it in Romania, but yeah, no, never TomorrowWorld.
Okay. TomorrowWorld was tight experience for me, man. Yeah. So like, we took helicopter down from the W. We took Uber SUVs from the Ritz-Carlton private residence. Like, it's me and 8 other guys. No, 3 guys, 8 girls.
There we go. It's the golden ratio.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys look at my Instagram, like, we're just standing outside the Ritz. You guys will see us 3 guys. A bunch of chicks. So it was that day we went to TomorrowWorld, but it got flooded when it rained out.
It was wild.
We were only going for one day, but it was lit. We took a helicopter down. I felt like presidential, dude. From that day on, I was like, dude, I gotta buy this steak. But now it's like,
dude, that rain out was crazy.
Dude,
it was crazy.
It was insane. One of my boys,
crazy.
Shout out to Bradley Landrum, dude. One of my boys came in from Louisiana to go to TomorrowWorld, and it got rained out. He just mudded out and shit, you know. So, but yeah, man.
The night before the big rain out, the night before. So getting in, it was super painful, and then getting out, it was crazy. I remember like this distinct moment where all of a sudden I'm walking back with my group of people, and then you're walking to where like the shuttles are to take you back to the parking, because the parking was like 10, 11 miles away where your off-site car was. And I just see this line of people. I'm like, there's no fucking way that's the line for the buses. So we just kind of are living in delusion, and we're like, this isn't our line. This is everyone else's line.
Right.
So we start walking by, and then we're getting further and further up the line. Here's the line, and then we're kind of walking by the line. There was like a group of maybe like 20, 30 people that were on the same vibe of us. And I'll never forget this pivotal moment where the massive line then like turned to the right and looked at this group of 30 people. and then saw that we were like cutting the line, and then it was just like a mob. They started booing, hissing. People legit started throwing shit, like wipey water bottles and stuff. So I remember there was a pivotal moment. I grabbed my girlfriend at the time and then just grabbed her, and then we snuck into the line, made friends with the people that we were there, told them to chill. But the other people from our group, they got pushed off into the woods. So then they were on their own. We ended up having to rescue them in a bus as we saw them walking aimlessly
I bet
down
your
the
shoes
sidewalk.
were crushed because that walk was all muddy. It
was crazy.
It was terrible. And the people that got the bikes,
Yeah.
there are people that rented bikes to get back and forth from the shuttle. They couldn't ride them.
Yeah.
They had to push their bikes all the way through this thick mud. Shout out to TomorrowWorld, those guys that put up the bread, whoever it was. Sorry you went bankrupt, but it was dope, dude. So I want to play a little game with you.
Talk to me.
I'm going to name some places, and you're going to tell me immediately what comes to your mind.
Let's go.
All right. So, first, Blacksburg.
Virginia. Go Hokies. There we go. I went to Virginia Tech. Graduated 2014.
Hey.
I would say, "What's a Hokie?" And you do the like blah, 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 blah. It's like a little gobble thing.
Yes, sir. You guys already know from Virginia.
Let's go, baby.
I love Virginia to death. Black coffee.
Black coffee, man. That show Domain he just did. Well, all right, black coffee. I don't think that anybody, the vast majority of people, they couldn't name you one black coffee track.
Right.
That just goes to show how black coffee, he's not in the music business. He's in the black coffee business.
Right.
Black coffee, people go to see black coffee because black coffee, not only is he cool as shit, he's an entertainer. And so that is kind of where you want to position yourself. That's kind of what I'm thinking of, like, yes, want to be known for the music, but at the same time, look at Black Coffee. Name me one of his tracks. No one really could. But that's okay because he's built this brand. He's an icon, which is great. He deserves it because he crushes live.
Kind of like a Ben Baller. He's all around all the famous people all the time. He's a celebrity, but he doesn't make any music.
Yeah.
You know. So let's do Berlin.
Going there this summer for the first time.
Hey.
So obviously techno. But one thing I'm really excited. I got a gig locked down at a place called Kit Kat. So it's one of the most famous sex clubs, if not the most famous sex club in the entire world. And what I'm told is that you have to remove an article of clothing to go.
Tight.
So I'm lined up for like a weekday party there. Apparently they go insane there. So
Oh wow.
definitely techno. It's gonna be crazy.
Berghain.
Berghain again. Back to Berlin. Berghain. I don't know if I'm getting in.
Right.
I don't know if I'm getting in. I don't know if I'm getting in. I don't know if I'm getting in.
In groups of 2 or 3.
I don't know if I'm getting in. If they're letting me in. If I'm gonna look techno enough, but I definitely am gonna try while I'm there.
They said wear leather. Like,
Exactly.
Just don't look the bouncer in the eye. Don't come with groups.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah, man. So let's go to Tala 2XLC.
Ooh, I don't even know. Help me out there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So Tala, Germany. So
Ooh.
Tala was actually credited for the one that coined the name techno.
Really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
German guy.
That's very cool.
Tala 2LC. Yeah, you guys look him up when you get a chance. He's from Germany. So yeah.
And the crazy thing about techno is that obviously it has its roots in Detroit as the whole Chicago house thing was developing and whatnot. But then, if Germany and Europe didn't pick it up and take it, it wouldn't be anywhere as crazy as what it is.
Do you feel like it started in America first?
Well, yeah, 100%. So,
Okay.
all right, so basically, and I'm not an expert, but my manager, one of my best friends, Josh, that's what I got him for. He's educated me very much because he's a Detroit techno head. He's been throwing shows since the late 90s, early 2000s. And so techno, basically, it started off in Detroit in the same time that the Chicago house thing was kind of picking up. But really, what took it and blew it up was Europe and Germany kind of, adopting it and blowing it up into the thing that it is now.
Right.
Obviously, it's having more of a resurgence and coming back, but yeah.
And then you got the underground that's gonna forever be there, but then the commercial success guys that blend our American pop artists with electric music and stuff. So yeah, interesting perspective and point of view. I love Detroit electronic music, dude. When you go to Detroit. I want to go. Every time you go, I'm like, dude, I want to go, dude.
It's a cool place. Shout out to the Deepfake guys. They're the ones that just brought me there the last time, and I got to play Magic Stick. It was very, very cool. And go into Movement. Movement was wild.
Can I go
Great
with you
festival.
next time?
Let's go, baby. Let's fucking go. Let's do it. Let's run it, man.
I've been wanting to jump around with you for since a year. So
let's go. We got it. Yeah,
it's about time.
Yes, let's go, man. Let's go.
All right, so I got one more. Out of Phase.
So that's brand new release, just came out. Actually, it's a really cool story behind that track. Patrick, he laid down the vocal for that, and it took me forever to get it going. I was sitting on it, and I was just like, man, I really want to make a banger out of this. It took me like a year and a half, and then finally it's here. But the cool thing about making that song and whatnot is getting to work locally with local Atlanta producers, local Atlanta, because I really am trying to do techno, but give it its own ATL Atlanta twist. I really am trying to do Atlanta techno and have people understand. All right, I didn't know anything about Atlanta. I didn't know anything about Atlanta or the techno scene. So when I'm putting myself out there, they're like, "Where's this guy from? Atlanta, Georgia, shit." And they pique a little bit of interest about coming to visit here. I just think it's a cool thing to kind of, I don't want to say give back, but to give back and then have some more eyeballs be laid on the city of Atlanta, because I owe a whole lot to the city. I love it.
Undoubtedly, it would be giving back. And in my perspective, you are the vessel for techno from Atlanta to the rest of the world. So that's
trying.
I know you're humble.
Trying.
But it's just the truth.
Trying.
It's undoubted. Proof is always in the pudding, and you guys know I don't just co-sign anything. This is it. So I've had a guy run off a set because I wouldn't let him just say anything. Well, it was crazy. But yeah. Sam, everybody knows. I don't have to explain, dude. But tell me a little bit about 1605 UMEC and how that came about.
Yeah, 100%. So definitely the advice I would give to anybody is the importance of being able to find a mentor. Mm-hmm. So for me, when I finally decided in 2019, all right, this isn't going to be a hobby anymore. I really want to take this seriously. And I was very lucky to run into a mentor. And then from there, that kind of propelled my production skills so much faster than trying to figure it out on your own. And then from there, that got me the attention of Umek and his label 1605, which is the main one that I'm on. And basically getting to learn from someone who's been making techno bangers for 30 years and learning all the 30 years of all those production techniques. You can't put a price on that.
Right.
Because there's these little things that you can't find anywhere on the internet of this is what you want to do, this plugin plus that, you twist this knob and do that to get this kind of effect for that nice raw kind of crunch and power, and all those little tricks, those kind of hidden secrets of production. Getting those will just be able to propel you so much faster. So the piece of advice I would give is that if you have a specific genre of something that you want to produce, 1000%, you need to find somebody that's doing what you are looking to do. Find some way to be able to give them value, become friends, and then basically just get into that sphere of influence so you can learn these little tricks here and there, because that's going to propel you. It applies to anything in life, but it's just so important.
That's awesome, dude. That when you say give back, that's value right there. I was even gonna ask what would you say to someone that wants to break into the techno scene? Mentors are very important, and being able to listen. Having the ability to take, not even from a stranger at a festival 14 years ago, or whatever, but having
You're funny to look at.
Studious, but you took that and you turned it into, so.
I would say, for anybody looking to break in, it's okay if you're a hobbyist, which is the vast majority. I was a hobbyist. It's kind of how you think about it. It's DJing is fun, but if you really want to break in, first you gotta make the mental shift from, all right, I'm not a hobbyist anymore, this is for real. For me, it took me 9 years, from 2010 when I first got Ableton all the way to 2019, 9-year journey of being a hobbyist, which is totally fine, to being I wanna do something. But the first place you gotta start is there. Then once you decide, all right, I gotta do something, then you gotta figure out, how am I gonna be unique?
Right.
Because there's so many other DJs out there, there's so many other producers. So the uniqueness is definitely in the brand. It's also going to be in the sound. Because a lot of people, when you first start making music, it's all right, who do I want to try and copy and get as good or as close to sound-wise? So you pick some of your favorite labels and artists that you want to copy.
Right.
The challenge is, and I totally do recommend using reference tracks and whatnot in the beginning to shape your sound and figure that stuff out. The challenge is that you're always going to be comparing what you're putting out into the DAW against the reference track, and 9 times out of 10, probably 19 out of 20 or even more, you're gonna be like, yo, my shit doesn't sound as good.
Right.
So then you're comparing yourself to this, and you're really just trying to copy them. So you always need to be thinking, yes, I'm using people as a reference, but how am I going to be different? And then be confident in what you're doing that's different is also cool.
Right.
And that's another big thing, is that a lot of people don't have the confidence in what they're doing is cool. So you just need to like be all in on, this is my sound, this is cool, I like it, but at the same time, listen, it's this very delicate balancing act, but
yeah. I mean, I completely concur, dude. Like, being all in is huge for me. Like, even when it comes to like balancing your time with I don't have another thing that I do. Like, I run SLC and I produce things, you know, and you DJ, you know what I mean? You're all in. So it's like, and then like, I was gonna ask, like, as you transcend, you know, you've been able to create this niche, this brand for yourself. It's unwavering, and it's like, it's the dark. It's like the first scene in Blade, the old movie Blade. That's when I was listening to the new song. I was like, yo, I really want to just take the first scene of Blade and just put this new song over
It's funny you say
just
that.
to make a clip.
They're throwing a Blade theme. You know, I don't know if anyone's heard, but they have like SpongeBob theme, Shrek theme raves or whatever.
Right.
There's a cool dude in Charleston that's throwing a Blade theme rave.
Gonna be hard.
Yeah, I'm playing it, so it's definitely gonna be hard because I'm gonna fucking make it hard. But it's gonna be, it's a cool idea. And then literally he's like, man, your music's perfect for this. I'm like, oh, exactly.
Beyond
it's dark.
perfect, dude. Dude, it's it, bro. I appreciate you guys for watching too, man.
Silver life.
Welcome back to Artist Premiere. I hope you guys enjoyed that merch. Again, silverlifecreative.com/silver. Get your 10% off with OR Fall 22 Ostrich merch. So check it out, man. Oh, dude, the leather bomber, dude.
It's fire.
Dude, fire, man, dude.
Especially how cold it's been. I've been wearing that, keeps me warm. Super nice quality.
Super warm, dude.
Grab yourself one. It's fucking gas.
It's limited.
It's fucking gas.
So you guys get it before you can't. So check it out, man. We got Sam Wolfe in the building, man. So look, did you know, like, every time we do the Atlanta Mount Rushmore with our like EDM DJs that come on the show, you are always named the #1 for their Mount Rushmore. And even
I appreciate it. That's fucking that's dope.
Dude, even when I say no particular order, they're like, screw that. Still, like, Sam, you know what I mean?
Well, let's talk about these artists, man. Who you got?
So we got Sam Wolfe. Sam Wolfe has that with his
darker techno, branding with like red, his logo, name being Sam Wolfe.
This is a crowd favorite. You know, everybody knows this guy. He's making hella waves, you know, locally, nationally, and internationally. Really well known around here in Atlanta. But Sam Wolfe.
My guy. You guys have seen it. But what I want to do today, without including yourself,
Would never do that.
let's hear Sam Wolfe's Atlanta EDM Mount Rushmore.
Deal.
That's right.
So first off, first thing that comes to my mind, I got to throw mad props to Kayo for Alley Cat.
Wow.
Got to throw that because, you know, you want to talk about one of the more, at least to my knowledge, without all the history of Atlanta, but one of my first experiences with the true underground, true party that's been rocking for a hot minute. I mean, they do an amazing job of bringing, you know, underground acts and just throwing cool ass parties where it's almost more about the vibe than it even is about the artist that's playing. It's very impressive.
That. I really like that because it's not a specific DJ.
Yeah.
You know, it's an entity. Nice.
It's an entity. Then on top of that, gotta throw props, to Halogen. Because at the same time, you know, Alex Dunsker and Josh, when I first came here back in 2015, like, they're everything. And then also at the same time, putting records out with millions and millions of streams.
Yeah.
Big respect.
Yeah,
Big respect.
For sure. Real quick, I came here in 2015. What month?
Here we go. August.
Dude, July.
Damn.
You're like yeah.
Little bit.
Oh man, dude,
This is
we
the
got
time
so
to be
much in
here. This is
common,
the time to
man.
be
You got
here.
2 more left on this Mount Rushmore. Who you got, man?
Oof. So I would have to say in the dubstep world, split between the two that are killing it the most right now would have to be Zuba and Drink Your Water.
Yeah.
In my opinion, both of them, they're fucking doing great between those Lost Lands appearances and all the touring and whatnot. They're absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, for sure. Drink Your Water's been on the list before. We love you, Drink Your Water. Zuba too. Shout out to Zuba. So you got one more, dude. Yeah, one more.
Would have to go swinging out the other side. Let's see what other.
Wait, are there 4 on Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, there's 4.
There's 4.
There's 4.
We
there's
always
4.
do that. It's like it's 4.
There's 4. There's 4. There's definitely 4. Man, there's that. Now it's getting spicy. Now it's getting spicy and thinking about it. Like, there's so many people I want to throw love to. There's only one spot left. I gotta throw it up to my homie OG. He's been here for a hot minute. JD. Gotta throw it to JD.
JD.
Love him, man. I love him, man. There's something about, you know, it's so funny. When I first moved here, I didn't really get to know the dude very well at all. And we bumped into each other at some parties and stuff like that. The second you meet someone, you're just like, yo, this is my guy.
You know, like, yeah,
just vibing, having a good time.
I love that feeling.
Yeah, it's been like that since day one. He knows I love him, so
Tight.
Got to throw that out there. Got to.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, that's Sam's Atlanta Mount Rushmore, man. Atlanta electronic dance music Mount Rushmore.
There's a lot more love I want to throw out there. Sorry if I didn't get it in there, but.
And you guys did get a little cheated because Sam's got a big heart and he wants to throw love, and I really want to go by data and be like, wait, when I do my Mount, I haven't done mine yet, but when I do mine, it's gonna be like Hove, like passing the baton to the guys. So it'll be with timing, you know. So that's local, but he is international. So let's get your international Mount Rushmore.
For me, top 4 most influential.
Influences, yeah.
So number 1 would definitely got to be Eric Prydz. I love Eric Prydz, love the guy. I've seen him 16 times now, seen his Hollow 3D show. The reason that he's so great is that, as the legend goes, he was actually part of Swedish House Mafia originally, or was supposed to be, and was he was like, nah, I'm not doing the whole cheesy EDM. Well, not cheesy at the time, but now considered cheesy or whatever.
Right.
3, 2, 1, jump, put your hands up. And he was like, I love progressive house. I want to do the deeper thing. And he's become an international, and he just does his thing.
Right.
And that's the great example of, like, this is what I'm about. This is what I want to do. And he just nails it out the park. So definitely him.
I agree.
You got to throw love. Skrillex, especially with Rumble dropping right now. You know, this man, you think dubstep, and the crazy thing is that the people that have really popped off, when you think of genre, you think of them. When you think Skrillex, you think dubstep. When you
Right.
think Kygo, you think tropical house. When you think Avicii, you think happy progressive house. When you
Right.
think Carnage, you think trap. And an amazing rebrand with the whole Gordo thing. He's crushing it.
Dude,
but
he retired.
yeah.
What the heck?
Well, he knew that he knows where it's going, and if you look over to
Thanks.
talking about international right now, melodic techno, i.e., Tale of Us and Afterlife, melodic techno is the current, in my opinion, EDM of Europe right now. It hasn't
Right.
come over to America like it is over there, but
Right.
melodic techno is like the EDM of today,
For sure,
over
for
there. So. Anyway, but yeah, Skrillex, you listen to all of his stuff, and he's just, the vocal chops, fire. He's just gasoline.
Yeah.
He's straight gasoline.
Speaking about the melodic techno, one of the most inspiring guys for me, David Guetta.
Yeah. The cool thing about David Guetta, which, so obviously, you know, he was the main transition or a big part of the transition from like, all right, it used to be like you only had to be a DJ.
Right.
And then you're spinning records, but then you had to be a DJ and a producer to be big. And David Guetta was really the one that pushed that, where all of a sudden he was a producer. He's like he's putting out these massive records.
Right.
So the
right.
cool thing about him is that what he recently did, he just did a collab with Artbad and Idris Elba, which is genius because a lot of people in the scene, they're big, but they're not cool.
Right,
Or they're cool, but they're not big.
Right.
So David Guetta's like, I'm big, but I'm not that cool to
Right.
like the underground people. So
Right.
what do? I'm a collab with some of the coolest and big underground people. So
Right.
he's trading his big points for their cool points. They're trading their cool points for his big points, and that's a big thing going back to Gordo. What Carnage is doing,
Right.
because he's big, but he's not cool.
Right.
So what he's doing is he's hopping on these tracks and doing all this stuff that's cool.
Right.
And he's like, yo, I want to be associated with you because you're cool. And they're like, I want to be associated with you because you're big.
Right,
And so it's
right.
this trade-off. So you got to understand where you fit into that puzzle and then always kind of make moves accordingly.
Electric dance music barter system.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
yeah,
we
that's
got one
exactly-
more for the Mount Rushmore. What you got?
Yeah, there's a lot of people I want to put on there. So, you know, I would say if you're thinking trance, you got to say like an Armin van Buuren or like a Above and Beyond. Got to throw them on there. Carl Cox.
Carl
Cox, he's got to be, you know, first time I got to see Carl Cox, 2013, went to Ultra, and I was like, I didn't really understand the difference between like EDM and techno. I didn't really know what I was doing.
Right.
But went into the Carl Cox megastructure, and I just didn't come out for like 3-4 hours, and was just like, what the fuck, this is crazy.
Yeah, man, you enjoyed it.
Guys,
so
that
much.
guy's, he's the king. He's the king.
These people, these DJs, like
That would make a
even
good
like-
Mount Rushmore. I'm just thinking Skrillex, big old Carl Cox, Eric Prydz. I would want to see that.
Dude, I mean, we're gonna put it together, man.
We can ask AI. AI, you know, hey, make me Mount Rushmore with Sonny, Carl Cox, Eric Prydz, and Above and Beyond, or Armin van Buuren.
We'll get that for you. You know what I mean? Like
Those
we
we
got a
got to. We got-
production
we got- we
company.
got
We
it.
can make that. You know what I
love
mean?
it.
So, but yeah, man. So we got Sam Wolfe on Artist Premiere, man. 2023, man. I saw you jump all over the nation last year. You're going to Berlin this year for the first time.
So it's looking like it's going to start off Prague to Cologne, Berlin, then to Turkey, Ankara, Izmir, hopefully Istanbul, then back to Hamburg for this Love and Trance Festival, and then hopefully back to Turkey for Sonance Festival. It's going to be a month straight. So
Running it.
just
Straight
going for it, man.
machine, gasoline.
It's the cool thing about techno is that, and this is an interesting thing because when I first was getting back into it, so the way I always kind of describe the story is that I completely gave up in 2015 after I graduated and spent my first year working in Baltimore. And then I moved here to Atlanta, didn't do a gig for 4 years, completely gave up, was just going to shows, focusing on my career.
Right.
And when I got back into it, I always like equate it to like that scene in Austin Powers where he gets frozen and he gets thawed out, you know, 30 years in the future or whatever.
yes.
Yeah, and he's, you know, naked and he's got the fucked up teeth or whatever.
Yes,
so
sir.
basically that was like me with my electronic
you
music
felt.
taste. It was frozen back in 2014, 2015 with the big room stuff, and then I got thawed out in like 2019, 2020. And the crew I'm rolling with, and I'm playing that kind of big room stuff, they're like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, what, this is cool, right? It's like, no. So I had to get re-educated, and
That's what I appreciate about you.
Yeah, man.
You are studious in the game. That's
Got to.
Man, what?
Let's go with
Developing your brand, dude. Like you said, you were frozen in that time. You took that feedback.
Yeah.
You stayed studious. You listened.
Yeah.
And you made that adjustment.
Got to.
I didn't want to cut you
But
off.
no. So as I was getting back into it in techno, one of the questions that Josh, my manager, his best friend, he says to me, he's like, listen, this is almost as much of a lifestyle that you're going to be creating for yourself as it is a future career and a business. So you tell me, do you want to be stuck in North America doing a certain genre? Or do you want to be able to go to these crazy places? Do you want to go to South America? Do you want to go to Croatia and Europe and Germany and all this stuff? Because techno, it's an international thing. And when it was pitched to me in that way, I was like, damn, I want to go to these crazy places. Yeah. So I'm not saying that's the reason that I jumped into techno music, but that was an interesting factor of like, yes, it would be amazing to tour around North America, and I'm not throwing any shade at any other genre of music or anything like that, but certain genres will not be able to perform nearly as well in other parts of the world because they're not, like dubstep isn't nearly as big as it is in North America.
Right.
So part of the thing is that I was thinking about is like, I'm very lucky that techno is such an international thing because all of a sudden you put a track out and you got people in Lebanon
everywhere
that are vibing with it. And it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing.
This guy puts butts in seats. He'll get the crowd out, and you'll notice the diversity of this man's crowd. It's because he's international. He touches an international fan base. So even when you have people in the U.S. or in the Atlanta, even at the Unicorn, man, like you had like Asians, good. Like everybody, you know, ready to see Sam, and that is that influence you have because you're impactful in other countries, different continents. This guy's international, man. Sam, we love him, man.
Love you too, man.
It's been a pleasure having you on the show, man. We got Sam Wolfe on Artist Premiere. You guys know that emoji with the... That's what we got here, man. He makes the memories. When you guys are out with your friends, he creates the memories, the experience, and, he's just going to continue to elevate 2023 Sam Wolfe, man. Thanks for coming out to Artist Premiere, man.
All day. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
the real one. I appreciate you very much, man.
Look, man, YouTube, like and subscribe. That's another episode of Artist Premiere. We'll catch you on the next one. It's your boy Silvy. Gone.
Boom. Appreciate what you're doing for everything here.
That
was awesome, bro. That was fun. That was dope.
Double camera.